Well, hello everyone. I apologize for that technology incident. By the time you think you have it focused just right, then things just take a spin. But we're here, yes. And thank you for joining me today on the Elevator Talk Show with issues of the heart for the young and wise. I am Wanda J. Prowell, your author, educator, and speaker. And we will continue, my friends, we will continue today our Valentine's series. Yes, today is January 29th, and starting Monday, the Valentine month for February is going to be in high gear. But yes, this week's focus is teens versus adult kind of love. How about that? Well, for most of you parents, it hadn't been that long. I mean, it's been a little while, since high school. But you remember those high school lovebirds? Hey, even today, the middle schooler. Hey, elementary school. It's all over the place. But love is in the air, and today our focus is we're still addressing the lower teens, the 11 through 14-year-olds, or for teens versus adult kind of love. And we really don't have enough time to address or emphasize the importance of the early teens, because there are so many issues that are affect teens at this stage of life when, or in common practice, parents just may not be giving it a thought. But just stay with me. I'm not going to be hardcore. I'm going to be sharing with you some things you already know. We're just going to highlight it just a little bit. But while others are joining on today, I need you, my friends, to click the share button. Yes, click your share button and tag about 5 of your friends. Tag 5 of your friends for me. Or don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube, Wanda Prowell YouTube channel. And there you will be able to visit my previous videos, as well as my upgraded website at www.resolved-2010.com. Yes, that's www.resolved-2010.com. And there you will be able to review all the services that I provide, as well as connect with all of my social media contacts. Go on and tag now 5 people while we're waiting for the rest to come on. Again, this week, my friend, topic for this week is teens versus adults kind of love. Yes, the early teens, the 11 to the 14-year-olds. Well, it's universal. Valentine, my friend, is the hottest season for acknowledging and showing love. And it is also, Valentine is also the second largest card sending day in the world. Did you not know that? Parents, do you make your children feel that they are your Valentine? Or is it all about them remaining alone until they attract an outside sweetheart? They're there, right? Yeah, the outside sweethearts. Being someone's sweetheart in this day and time, it is a major, major concern, especially for the middle schoolers and the teens. Well, the classroom, I can remember, when I was teaching in school, and we would go visit the elementary school when I was teaching early childhood. And, oh my goodness, on Valentine's Day, I mean, balloons all over the place. I mean, parents reacted as though they had saved for Christmas. and or this is elementary school, the public school as well as the Head Start. Oh my goodness, Head Start. There were so many balloons, and parents were bringing all these balloons and hanging from the ceiling, and parties and candy, and even in high school, because I understand how important inclusion and to feel love is for high schoolers. I would have special activities for my students to include them with healthy kind of love, because it's about being accepted and being to fit in. And most of all, you want the kind of love that's going to cause you to be successful in life. It's not the kind of love that's caused you to be defeated. So it's important. So what about at home though? Parents, at home. Let me pause for a second and please emphasize to all of my viewers right now is that, my emphasis right now is on parents, but what about the children? What about the girls and the boys who are not with their parents? Even if they are deceased, incarcerated, in military, whatever the case may be, they want to feel inclusion. Youth group leaders, no one wants to be left out to feel in love. And there's a lot of peer pressure. There's a lot of self-esteem that's attached to feelings of inclusion during this time of year. Being someone's sweetheart is major. Well, the question is, my friends, what are teens, listen carefully, what are teens willing to compromise to be called a sweetheart? For how long? An hour, a week, a month? It's not just about that one day. That's my emphasis. To be called a sweetheart just for one day. What will they compromise to be included? And what are they expecting, or what will they be expecting to give up in return to be someone's sweetheart? Well, you know the rest, right? Parents, you know the rest. If you remember in our last talk show, Teens, Love, and Valentine, the term puberty was introduced, which are biological and psychological changes that occurs in the early teenagers that make them sexually mature to conceive a child. Yes, puberty. When that happens, conception is prevalent. Now that their hormones are peaking, and it becomes a personal challenge for parents and young teens to understand and manage the message, the signals their bodies are sending to their brain. Yes, brain. Last show, puberty was our term of emphasis, along with love. Today, brains. Yes, our topic today, teens versus adult kind of love for the early teens, 11 through 14 years old. An important fact, parents must help teens to understand, yes, their brain make decisions to rule their whole body. Use their brain to think and to make decisions, the brain, because the reproductive parts, the reproductive organs of our bodies, hey, they don't think. They don't think. The brain is here. And those are words of wisdom that are going to help us be successful even throughout adulthood. Do you agree? Parents' most powerful tool for teen success in preparing your teen for developmental challenges are, with everything that's going on in the world, no matter who they meet, no matter where they go, there are two important or tools that the parent possesses. And number one, to develop a strong parental relationship with your child. We talked about that some time ago. From emphasis all up. The middle aged child, the 6 through the 10-year-old, the 11-year-old, even right now, you're building, even if you don't live together. Oh my, that's a hallelujah, amen moment right there. Especially if you don't live together. Dad may be in New York, mom may be in Mississippi or Georgia or Alabama. There's technology. It's important, it is crucial that you connect with your child, for your female child as well as your male child. But developing that strong relationship with them, or where you're able to reinforce their positive self-esteem, your communication, engagement, guidance, support, get involved. Because life's storms and challenges are on the way. Okay, the parent developing a strong relationship with the child. And the number two would be to teach and explore consequences. Consequences. It's redundant to say, that they hear all the time, don't do this and don't do this. And, the world and the friends be telling them, hey, if you get involved in this, all the good benefits, they call it, they're going to have, which is not true. But the more parents highlight consequences, even for to become sexually active, what are the consequences if you do this? Or it's important that they understand what your own personal values are, what your house rules are, and so they would understand if this should happen, what would become some consideration for them. It may, and it should, our goal is to help them make decisions that is going to be beneficial to them, and where they get a choice. It's like a multiple choice. You want to choose A, B, or C. They can, choose the A or choose the B or choose the C. But if you're not having this discussion with them, then they may just be drawn into different situations without giving regard to consequences. This is a good place to pause and remind you parents, yes, to go to YouTube and search Wanda Proud for my Wanda Proud YouTube channel. And there are 3 important videos that I recorded previously. And these are teachings, not teaching as in homework, but a lot of information shared. And one is why teens get pregnant. Number 2, another one is, wow, I'm a teen dad, man. And another one would be benefits of teens waiting to become parents. And there are several others, but go there and that will give you some background or information to create discussions with your young teens. Again, our topic today is teen versus the adult kind of love. And I can hear parents thinking out loud, for the ages 11 through 12. Are you serious, lady? What are you talking about? My child is not interested in nothing like that. The only person they talk to is their cousins, their neighbors, maybe 1 or 2 children at church. You know how that go, right? Remember now, each child has their own personal DNA. That is their body chemistry and personality. And this has nothing to do with how quiet your child is, how shy your child may be, or how loud their personality may be. Believe me, it's in the chemicals. In everyday language, some teens are highly stimulated in nature, and some are moderate. None are dead because they're living creatures, right? And all are functioning. They're live creations that only God has made. Now I ask you, what is love? We're talking about, teens versus adult kind of love. What is love? Some say that love is an intense feeling of deep affections, a great interest and pleasure in something. Feeling deep affection for someone. Well, or like or enjoy something very much. Many of you have heard scriptures like John 13:14, King James Version. A new commandment I give you, says the Lord. Love one another, even as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. You remember that one? And 1 John 4:8. Anyone who does not love God does not know God, because God is love. Matthew 7:12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them, for this is the law of the prophet. Well, I added that Matthew verse here, chapter 7:12, because a lot of times, it seems like the word love, people may use love, and the Bible does say now that love covers a multitude of sin. It does. It did say that. And sometimes when individual wants to abuse that, Matthew 7:12 kind of hit homes, because it goes back and say, therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men do unto you, do it even so to them. And sometimes people get that. Well, the characteristics of love. The characteristics of love is demonstrated in Galatians 5:22 and 23. Those are characteristics of what love will look like, or how people respond. Those are in terms of the fruit of the Spirit. But yes, I want to emphasize, we know that God is love, and the Lord commands us to study the Word of God to be able to rightly, keyword, rightly divide the Word of God, because He knows that the enemy is going to prey on our innocent boys and girls and destroy their goals and visions for their lives, and even the lives of their family members. Yes, it has happened. This kind of love type thing. Okay, well, let's explore the 8 different types of love. 8. Traditionally, I've always referred to the 4 types, and the 4 major types would be the filial type love, the storge, the eros, and the agape. But I was able to find an illustration that broke it down for the 8 types of love, and you see where they all are associated together. But with teenagers, especially the 11 through the 14 years old, we've got to speak their language. We've got to speak so they can understand. Because it is easy to spend, or even in a sermon, a church sermon, or a presentation, and all the words and are being used, and the teen is like laws. How does it apply to my life? How can I make it applicable for me being better? Okay, so the 8 types of love. Number 1, let's go with them, and it's important. I'm taking time to share this with you, because in the mind of our young people, they think there's probably just one type of love, and that type of love involves all the replication and imitation of adult kind of or relationship. And where they are right now, it could be a sign of, it's trouble. It's trouble. It's trouble. This is going to block your vision from where you want to go. So let's identify the different types of love, because love are emotions. They are felt, and they are healthy kinds of love. So it's important for our young people to understand where they are in the type of love that they should be involved in at a particular stage in their lives. Okay, the filial type love, that's P-H-I-L-I-A. You may research this on your own, but it's the affectionate love. Love, hey, without romance. The attraction occurs between friends and just family members, just good friends. You know, you're loyal to each other, you know. Nobody's going to get anybody in trouble, you know. But it's just a good friend. Pragma, P-R-A-G-M-A, pragma. This is an enduring type of love. And this type of love requires commitment and dedication. These are for people who like the married people or who are committed to each other and they've been together and they're not falling in love anymore. They're already in love. They're just standing in love. So it's just like for the duration or the acclamation of them being faithful to each other. But storge, S-T-O-R-G, storge love, that's the family kind of love. You know, the family, all the family loving each other and protecting each other and being there for each other. That's the storge. You cannot get in trouble with that. It's the storge kind of love. And that is the type of love that builds healthy relationship for stability, for children being included, whether or not other family members, whether it's divorces or deceased, but you know that somebody's got your back. The storge kind of love. But hey, there's another type of love, eros, E-R-O-S. That's that kind of love that has to be, you have to be prepared, mature. It's romantic love. And there is so much to be said about romantic love. The sexuality, the chemicals, the emotions, it's not just a physical interaction. There are ties, bonds. It has such a demand on your emotions, and it extends beyond your emotion, where, you know, children get involved. Yeah, children of birth, pregnancies. So that is the type of love that young people should be discouraged to become involved in until they are mature enough to handle the consequences and the responsibilities. Well, there's another type of love. Ludus, L-U-D-U-S, ludus kind of love. That's a playful kind of love. You know, they're not serious. There are people just play. You know, you're not serious at all. You know, and, you know, depending on where you are. But that's just a playful kind of love. You're not really engaging. You just play. So you play too much. Mania, M-A-N-I-A. This is a type of love. And it is obsessive. M-A-N-I-A. Obsessive love leads to unwanted jealousy and possessiveness. That leads to, or is a representation of, a codependency. You know, there's a movie, you know, your adults, you know, you probably seen that movie, Obsession is dangerous. But, you know, out of the need, you know, wants versus needs, out of the need for some young people, especially young ladies, to be accepted, as well as males too, to be accepted, or they are ushered, or they allow themselves to be ushered into a relationship where they feel included, and or to escape or whatever emotional situation they were involved in, or for a lack of, whether it was abuse or they were abandoned, whatever the case may be. But they put all that energy into this particular relationship, and they have a codependency. In most cases, this type of love is found in couples with an imbalanced love toward each other. An imbalance of eros love, that's the romantic type love. They're usually, sexually involved at this point. Eros is romantic. Eros type love does involve, a sexual involvement. But the ludus is that playful type love. So they are involved physically and they are involved emotionally. They're playing, they have that fun type love. And they become attached to that. And obsessions take place. And that is a very, very dangerous kind of love. Okay? And this is another one. I believe I'm pronouncing this correctly. This Philantia, Philautia, Philantia. Well, this is a self-love. This is a healthy love. This is the most healthy form of love, because then this type of love, you recognize your self-worth and you don't ignore your personal needs. And the very last one is agape love. And agape love is the godly kind of love, the selfish, selfless type love. That's unconditional love. That's when you love a person to meet their needs, or you still love them. You may not like them. They may do things you don't like, but you do not sacrifice your needs, but you can yet help them. You can yet love them as God loved them. Well, those are your 8 different types of love, and I invite you can Google it, and I did spell it if I didn't pronounce it the way you normally do, but you're able to go back and Google that, and you can discuss those types of love. Those are the types of love, okay? And we're still talking about today teens versus adults kind of love. Yes, teen versus adult kind of love. Well, while we're talking about love, love is not only and again, parents, all of my shows are designed to usher you into developing discussion and healthy relationship with your teens, because of all, this is not negotiable. I know this to be a fact. Of all the wonderful technology that's available and the fashions, teens desire more so than anything is to be able to talk to someone that they can trust, they can be open with. They want to talk. So, or whether you are a parent or a mentor, the more you're able to talk with them, it's going to answer some of that question. It's going to give them a chance to be open to hear your response, because when they are thinking within themselves, they may read books, they may see, television shows, or hear what their friends have to say. That all of this is all juggled in their minds and their spirits, and they want some clarity. So when they're able to talk with you, you are relieving them, giving an opportunity to relieve emotions and get. My prayer is that correct information. And if you don't know the correct information, moms and dads, please do not assume. I've heard so many parents and so many adults who are not honest enough to say, I don't know. Some things remain true, just like love, but love takes on different forms, and different people have different personalities. So you just don't want to just tell them something because they're going to be believing in you because they want to have someone to talk with. But just be honest with them, and that's going to help them. But right now, let's talk about the 5 love languages and what they mean. 5 love languages, because for most of the time it's true that they are going to be because they are growing young adults. There's going to be attraction, and they're going to have little boyfriends, little girlfriends, and the same is going to be true later on in life for husband and wife or adult male, females. It's important to understand the different ways in which love can be expressed. Okay? So, and also too, as you get to know, your partner, your friend, you understand what their love language is. Okay, there are 5 love languages. Well, the first one is words of affirmation. If you love someone, and you tell them words that builds your partner up, compliments, recognition, there are individuals who really, they cherish that. I feel like you love me when you tell me, you express your feelings, you compliment me. That's a love language. When they hear words of affirmation, it's like it just make their heart, spin, because wow, you love me. And if or you never said that, even though you may be giving them gifts and all of that, but if they don't hear you say that, then they would feel like you don't love them, even though in your heart you really do. So that is a way of showing love. Words of affirmation. Okay, what about active services? That's one. That means you are willing to do things for your partner, and when you're not obligated to. Yes, you're not obligated to. You do little things for them. It may be washing the dishes, or in school carrying the books, or to help me with my work if that's what you want to do. Things of that nature, not out of obligation. I don't want you to do my homework because I decided I'm not going to do my homework. I just want you to do all my homework. Oh, no. That means you're using that person. Yes. It's time for that self-love to kick in then, right? Okay, what about receiving gifts? Okay. Show affections by giving them something, not necessarily something that expensive, but just sharing love, It could be, and friends do this as well as or family members do this. So these types of love languages can be applied for all the different types of love. But now let's go back to the mania of the mania, M-A-N-I-A type of love. If this person is obsessive, this person has a codependency. They may have certain criteria where they want all expensive gifts. You got to have a certain value. But a person who's in a healthy relationship, just something, just to let them know that I'm thinking about you. So that is their love language. Quality time, undivided attention. No television, no smartphone. When that person and you are together, that means you have my undivided attention. That's important. That's important. Okay? And physical touch. Physical touch is so. We hold babies. We cuddle with our infants. It's so for adults, to hold hand, and for the young teen to hold hand, they need to know that's cool. In other words, regardless what is seen on television, and regardless what you see others do, jumping in the bed, or being publicly disrespectful, or that is not the ultimate showcase of love. Okay, and even to the kids, and I'm not going to tell anybody what they need to do. You have to walk through the your own discretionary emotions. I understand that, but my emphasis right now is on the teen. It's on the teen, and they need to know that it's okay, and even more so, it's important that they understand that whoever their partner is that they have selected, that it's important that they have a respectful understanding to know at whatever rate their preference is, it is to be respected because it's okay. So if they choose to hold hand, it's great. If they want to put the hand on the shoulder, a walk, shoulder type, walking together, that's fine. And just because they are not involved in all of this rated X type of activity, there's nothing wrong with them. Because the hidden focus is, what are your goals? What are your educational goals? Or do you plan to go to college? So you're just like driving a car, in in certain areas, there's a speed limit. There is a speed limit, and depending on your location, where you are in your stage in your life, is going to determine whether or not, you might just need to slow down. And it's healthy to slow down, because when you're driving a little slower, and you know this to be true, when you're driving a little slower, you're able to observe what's going on the side of the car. A little child can, run in the street. You have time to stop, or else there might be some other things going on. You will have time to slow down. But if you go at it, at high speed, you could run into some devastating situation that you will not be able to correct. And before you know it, or your youth would have advanced to adulthood before, you realize it. Okay? So our 5 love languages, again, just to review. Number 1 is that you can show love by words of affirmation, giving compliments. You can show love by acts of service, doing particular chores for them and helping, and receiving gifts, inexpensive gifts, or whatever gifts that comes to your liking. But quality time is important, and the physical touch. Now, these they sound maybe just like words to your preteens right now, but these are very powerful, sustaining characteristic of love language that becomes even more powerful as you advance into adulthood. In other words, this is an adult, very much an adult reaction. Yes, this is a mature love action. Okay? Well, our focus on today's show is how teens love differs from adults' love. Teens versus adult kind of love. So how do they differ? Let's bring it all together now. How does teen love differ from adult love? Well, teens teens haven't is a key word. Teens haven't really learned how to properly love someone. And they aren't introspective enough. They are not introspective enough. They are not insightful enough to use wisdom for complicated issues, nor do they know enough about themselves to properly judge the contents of their feelings. One commentator says it like this: teenage love is when you can't live without her. Adult love is when you don't want to live without her. Let me say that again. One commentator described love as teen love versus adult love. Said that teenagers love is when you can't live without her. But adult love is when you don't want to live without her. They don't have much life experience. Teens lives in a fantasy, and not just a fantasy. Keep in mind now their DNA, puberty, the chemistry of their body. You know, their body is reacting, but the mind is not there. They have they have a level of understanding, but not to the level to be tested in the fire. So that's why it's important that parents and moms and dad are able to coach your young teens and to have conversation about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, their lack of experience means they tend to ignore a lot of important things in a relationship. Common interests, stability of the partner. You know, teenagers are here today, they're gone tomorrow. And when a young lady get, just so in love, and I don't know why they all think their relationship is going to last forever. Hey, we all going to laugh at that, right? Last forever? Isn't going to last 6 months, 3 months, 1 week, So therefore, our actions are very, very important, because sometimes they could be involved in an action that they cannot change. So when we think in terms of the stability of a partner, hey, you could be on 5th Street today and on 10th Street the next day. Could be in your town today and move to another state the next. So teens often greatly overestimate the importance of permanence of the relationship. They believe that one partner is their one true love. Again, fantasy. They have real life consequences. That's not to say that teenagers aren't feeling real love. It's just that their general immaturity and lack of experience tend to result in very traumatic and fairly unstable relationships. Open communication is key. Build a healthy relationship with your teens to share their childhood struggles and success. Let me say that again, parents. Build a healthy relationship with your young teen to share think back. What were some of your struggles? And maybe it could be someone that was really close to you who that had some serious struggles that you did not experience, and you can share that if they just want to talk. But be honest. And if they ask you a question that, you felt that, you don't feel so noble about right now, just be honest with them. and explain to them the pros and cons of them making a decision differently. If you don't talk to them, they may become victims, and that's my fear. If you don't talk to them, they may become victims of deception and lies. It's important that when you're talking to your teens, how can I say it? The more caution they're able to take, they can make decisions before they have entered into a situation that they cannot change. Well, folks, I am so sorry. That's all the time we have for today. But you have been listening to our topic this week, teens versus adults kind of love. Yes. Well, next week, yes, I want to come to you next week. It's important to me. We've gotten all, excited about love. And for my young people, I know that they've been in during the COVID and a lot of things are occurring here. But I want to share with you next week. Title will be Me Valentine. And then we're going to evolve to the older teens, the 15 through the 18-year-old. And, in this day and time, you almost want to call them the grown folks, because they have, all they are much more mature. But we as an adults understand some of the strongholds that are still existing and the need for them to be able to make mature decisions. Because between high school and college, there is a series of issues and decision making, quality decision making has to be taking place. So next week, Me Valentine, or self-love for the older teens, 15 through 18. Me Valentine, like I'm not searching for a sweetheart. Me Valentine. Self-love for themselves and older teens, 15 through 18 years. Believe me, you don't want to miss this. Oh, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. But sadly, men or adults, my friends, adults, do not value a loving, healthy, committed relationship until they look in retrospect. Hindsight. Why not make a lifestyle change to move forward? You want to? Make a lifestyle change to move forward. Yes, parents, are you ready to pursue happiness and longevity? Parents? This is a profound relationship restoring book. Yes, Unresolved, the blessings of a resolved lifestyle. I asked the question, can you drive a car with your foot on the brakes? That's how life can be. Trying to move forward with unresolved issues. Do you see where I'm going with this? Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, 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 yes. Ask the question. Don't forget to visit my website at www.resolved-2010.com or for information regarding, purchasing or my social media contact. And make sure you share this with others, with all of you friends. I am Wanda J. Prowell, your educator, author, and speaker, bringing you issues of the heart for the young and wise. And look here, God bless you. Stay safe and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.